double-decker custom bus in the world. It's brown paint that's actually not rust, otherwise it'd be the doom. You back into the upper gate. But the stories, don't ask. We call this No Further. Anyone remember?
Oh, yes, yes.
There was a bus named Further in the 60s.
Yes.
And so this is now an art studio.
Ah.
The most high-tech bus of 1964, including editing studio and Panaflex cameras and film and everything. That's what they drove across the country. And so this is the bus Further is.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's the barn.
Now you're talking my language. The cost down, complexity down.
Ancient oak barn. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys.
I thought we were going to be the last ones in here.
Ooh, Channel F.
Maybe Lee Felsenstein referred to that. But it's meant to, the fact it's housed in a barn, it's like a garage environment. So it's not like a museum environment, it's a garage environment. And true to form, then the idea is you could take machines apart, get them working, pull their parts apart, and the people who really knew what they were and how built them can tell the story because they can actually mess with the artifacts. And most museums you can't do that because you have a preservation mission. And this is a storytelling mission. And so we're going to start with the 19th century right here. And these are the newest, they're actually the oldest and newest artifacts we have. The first artifact I collected was back in the 80s. It was this weird little brass box that I got at a yard sale for $15. And it said comptometer on it, and it said patent in 1887. And so it was 1987. I thought, this is amazing. It's like a 100-year-old personal computer. In fact, it was. The original comptometer was made in 1887 in a wooden box, and this was the sort of forefront of computing. These are all adders, and these ones actually work. These were donated by Brooke Goering, who's an expert in them. If you put the numbers in, like I clear the number, I can put in 1, and 1 is 2, 2 and 2 is 4. Could add 11 to that, get 15. If I were to multiply, I just hit the numbers over and over again. Furniture sometimes, and we come in here, and if you have your badge and gun, you can check it there. 5. And that's the Altair that was on the show that I did with William Shatner last year. That's on History Channel. So if you see that show, you can see that Altair there.
Oh, okay.
Was on that show. So squeeze on in, everybody. Let it come on. Yeah.
How many people came in his little tour?
It took a while, so you have the Vector, the Challenger, inside, of course, Altair. You have all of that, and it wasn't until, say, this, as you heard in the Sol 20 event this morning, that things got packaged kind of in 76, 77, 78. And so in this corner we see packaging beginning, with sort of human interface packaging, with keyboards integrated and even cassettes like in the PET. This is a rare Zilog machine that's made by Zilog to do processor development. So what I tend to like to collect are oddballs and rare things as well as the standard things. This is a Kim 4. Anybody heard of a Kim 4? It was actually an expansion board for Kim 1s. It's kind of a real oddball. Kim 1 people are familiar with because it was one of the cheapest machines you could buy, like $299 or something.
Why don't you do $250?
$250, you could enter the hex right here. Real simple, basic. This actually grew into what became Commodore. I asked him this morning, or this afternoon, what does pull in the guts, screw in the brains mean? Because that was a joke, an insider joke at Processor Tech, and I forgot to ask him. And over here we have two things that are really fun to see. By the way, send me pictures if you take good pictures. I'd love to put them on the site. This, you heard them talking about the North Star Horizon. This is the board for the floppy controller for the North Star Horizon. A lot of chips, right? This controls a single floppy drive, 5¼ inch drive built into the Horizon. This was designed for controlling 2 floppy drives. So you can imagine.
Oh boy.
What's the density on the floppy versus?
I don't know
The Waz's density is.
your early batch, right? This is number 400.
Yeah, probably.
So-
I'm sure I assembled it.
Now this is a special artifact for us. This is the first joystick for an Apple computer. It was made by Jeff Raskin, who's a brilliant mechanical engineer, and it was used to test out where the joystick could be built in the future and work with the game. Apple II can be directed to Daniel.
Do you have the original copy of Easy Rider for the
No.
Do you want it?
Yep, give it.
Okay, I'll see what I can get it for you.
This is actually from Apple's own museum, because when Steve Jobs had been to Apple, back at Apple a couple of years, he had everything with the rainbow logo thrown out of the building, so a big truck of stuff came here. Forget that the Brits had their own bloody industry, right? And it was a bloody successful one. There were computers in Britain that I was told that to cool them, the best thing, the advice in the manual was to put a glass of beer on them.
All right. What kind of software is available?
So here we have an interesting juxtaposition. These machines are virtually in the same year. The Grid Compass, the clamshell case, basically the modern laptop with a plasma screen, $9,000. Generals bought them. This flew on the Columbia Space Shuttle.